You are clicking into this video not just because you want to understand the LinkedIn lead gen form, but you want to master this bad boy. This is a tidy little form that sits inside LinkedIn, allowing users to make an inquiry with you at the simple click of a button. It's really quite powerful stuff.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
A client of mine, for example, was looking for people to invest into his investment opportunity, and over just a few months, we produced over 159 leads. But it's not just leads. These leads actually converted. They turned into over 4 million in sales revenue. Or even my own agency that has LinkedIn paid ads as one of its primary sources of new business. So I'm going to dig into what they actually are, and then I'm going to talk about how to set them up to actually make sure they make you sales and not just leads, not like all the other videos on this site. This ad type ultimately is awesome for one really big reason, but it can also suck pretty badly for one big reason too.
Boo.
And I'm going to cover both of those afterwards once we kind of run through the rest of this. So let's dig into it. This is a nice simple dummy LinkedIn campaign manager for us to use just to show you how this works. So firstly you come into assets and then lead gen forms, and then this is where you can create new forms. So you come here to create a form, and then this is the basics. So we might say just come up with a name for this. Let's just say it's me with my agency Snowball Creations, and let's just say we were trying to get people to work with us to help them run their ads or something. So it could be inquiry form, let's just call it that to keep this quick. Language English, headline offer, so this could be like receive a free audit with Max, our founder. This is not going to be great copy, but it gives you a starting point. Offer details from 10 minutes to an hour. You've got Max's attention on all things paid ads. And then this is the nice initial text that you see at the top here. So the headline is important. So the important thing firstly is this is clicked through from the ad itself. I'd highly recommend using single image ads. Are often some of the best to go into a lead gen form, although others can work perfectly well. In particular though, the remarketing, you want to be using single image ads with the lead gen form. And this, you can see you have to put a privacy policy in. So you have to have one, and you have to have a website to use these. And then we go down into here. This is really interesting. So you obviously first name, last name, and email. These are auto-filled, so these are really, really valuable. This is one of the things I love the most about these lead gen forms is the quality of this. The thing that's my favorite to add, so you can do all sorts of things like, phone number, that can be very good for lots of people. I personally actually don't really care that much about phone numbers because we're so international, but you can also get all of these other things like job title, etc. But the one that I like the most is the LinkedIn profile URL, because this one is automatically filled. You can see it's done it here, but it is so valuable in knowing so much about that person. You can go in, look at their profile, see the company they work at, do all of the work for them of filling the form out, and actually then you can connect with them. So everybody who fills these forms out with me personally, for example, I go and connect with them on LinkedIn, I send them a nice message, and then we have two places that we're in touch. So even if their email doesn't work or they just forget about me or something, I can get in touch over LinkedIn directly, and we have two different paths to keep in touch. You can also do custom questions. So say for example, we might be like, do you have at least £2,500 budget per month for ads? That could be a simple thing, and we put a yes and a no, or whatever else you might want to do. These are really good to have as like pre-qualifiers to avoid spam coming through, because then I know that that person at the very least has paused to consider whether they have 2,500, and that sets it up a bit better. That's a nice thing to do. And then the confirmation, so you can be like, thank you, or Max will be in touch. Max is currently sipping his morning coffee, preparing to give you his best. And then again, you can put the landing page to your website, for example, something like that. Visit company website or learn more, or you can do other kind of fun things here. And that's the rest of it. So this is really how simple it is to set one up. I won't go on, but they are endlessly editable and adjustable. You can change the logo and the background and all sorts of things. These headlines do make a difference. You should look at what the average conversion rate is from open to completion of the lead gen form and really consider that also when you're playing with this. A/B testing this is really valuable within the overall A/B testing matrix that you're doing. But yeah, really highly recommend them. This is the basics of how to set up a LinkedIn form. And are you someone that's interested in mastering marketing, or maybe you're in the entrepreneurial kind of journey and looking for help? Then please do subscribe, because I do these every single week and I feel like they might be of use to you. Either way, I appreciate you watching. So now let's go into my really big negative and positive when it comes to these forms. The big positive, the autofill, the ultra low friction. These LinkedIn forms, like Facebook forms as well, they allow a user to fill out the form without even leaving their safe space of the LinkedIn feed. This is epic. They also outdo Facebook because they allow the autofill of not just the kind of email and the contact details, but the actual company information as well, and the career behind that person. My favorite is the LinkedIn profile URL because it just gives you so much information to use in the sales process. What's the big negative though? This lack of friction does allow potentially for a drop in quality if it's not managed well. So it makes it very easy for someone to click through, go straight in, add their details, but actually that person maybe isn't the right one for you. If you put someone through, for example, a 10-page inquiry review all on your website, you will get an amazing quality of leads, but of course that will also mean that they have dropped off massively in quantity.
That makes sense.
Because this is a very difficult process, there's lots of friction in that. So this is very important to manage in the right way, and you can help this in a few particular ways. Number one is qualifying them in the actual audience part of the process. I do a great video on this, I'll actually link that here. Number two is pre-qualifying in the actual ad itself. So for example, minimum budget to work with you, or just say who you don't work with, which is a really fun one. And number three is just make the actual form harder. So you could add more information, more like tools and knowledge that can be useful in the sales process. But yes, I love these LinkedIn lead gen forms and would highly recommend that you test them if you're running LinkedIn ads. As long as you adjust for the negatives to make sure that the quality is strong enough, you can gain from that lower natural friction thanks to the autofill and in-platform nature of the ad. Are you going to give them a try? Let me know in the comments, leave your company. I love to see the actual companies that people are using these on. And otherwise, I hope this was of use to you. And if it was, please hit the like button. It makes me so happy. And I will see you in the next one, I hope.